Here we go. Ready for some cooking? Hello. Today I'm going to make an omelet. A simple breakfast food. We have shrimp, and it's got my homemade blackened fish spice blend, which is some hot peppers and salt and pepper and garlic, to name a few. And here's the ingredients. We got the shrimp. We have, let me see if I can pick this up, it's still hot. Leftover pulled pork from the other day. So I had it in this baking dish. It's not quite pulled yet, but I reheated it. It's, oh, it smells so good. So we're gonna have pulled pork and shrimp omelet today. And then we have, to go for the cheese, we have, this is called smokin goat. I finely grated it so it'll melt better. But I always use, chunks of cheese, real cheese. I don't buy pre-grated, just because anytime, when you pay for convenience, you pay with added ingredients too. So I make sure it's just the cheese. And what we have here is my melted butter. It's, I don't know how much that is, but it was a chunk. And we have these local eggs. They're actually from Kentucky. They're free-range pasture-raised eggs. And they're jumbo. Check out. They're almost as big as duck eggs. They're nice. And they're kind of uneven too, lumpy. So we're gonna use this. You know what else I have? I started making something yesterday where I just needed egg yolks. So I had to separate some whites. I wonder if that'll be weird to throw in some extra whites. See, I'm thinking as I'm going here. I didn't even plan this out. Isn't that terrible? There's 1 egg, 2 jumbo eggs. Now we're gonna add some white, since it is an omelet. The yolks are the best part of the egg though. And this is a lot of white. I don't know if I want to use all that. Maybe I'll just use part of it. Let me grab the spoon. If I can do it. I don't know if you can do it with a spoon. It's probably all like one piece. Oh, there we go. That's a little bit of it. I can save the other for something else. Or toss it. It's just egg whites. The old whisk. Then we grab some Redmond real salt, sea salt. I'm gonna put a little pepper in this. So just a little salt and pepper. Nothing fancy. So let me scramble this. So we have, because we only use 2 yolks, we do have the added fat of the butter. You know what else I could add just for a change? I usually don't use this, but let me grab something. This, take the name, got my name on it. It's from Annie Acres, where I get my eggs. This is where I get my butter too. This is the heavy raw cream. This stuff is like, it is so good. Let me rinse this off. it is thick. You can see the milk fat in there. So we're just gonna put 2 spoonfuls. I don't know if that's quite a real tablespoon, but in lieu of a yolk. Take the place of the yolk fat. God, that stuff's good. I'm gonna bring you down. So we're gonna start cooking on the stove. I gotta apologize for slacking off on my videos. I haven't been doing as many lately. Only because I'm running out of ideas. All right, we got the cheese. Let me put this over here where it's out of the way. Let me grab a fork. Put the fork and the tongs. Here, look down. I want to angle you down. See this. Check out this, man. Oh, this pork is so good. And I got some fat in here too that I can use to cook it in. So I'm gonna throw the pork in first. I just need to sort of shred it slightly. Like, I don't know if this is correct, the correct way of doing it, but the way that I make my omelets is I usually put the ingredients, like say, well, for instance, this pulled pork. I'll put that in the pan first and get it sizzling, and then, well, that, and I'll probably put the shrimp in. Well, obviously will, but I need some fat in there to get the shrimp going. Then once this is close to done, then I just dump the eggs on top. So that way it's like, it's an omelet, but the ingredients are sort of, the ingredients are mixed in with the egg, so it's not like just in the middle. I mean, if I wanted it to look pretty, I guess I would do it that way. So here we go. Take that out. Look at that. Pulled pork omelet with goat cheese and shrimp. Don't ask me where I came up with that one. It's fun though sometimes to think of interesting ways to use leftovers, you know? And an omelet is a really good place to use leftovers. You can throw anything in an omelet, as you've probably seen me do. God, there's so much left in here. I want to throw it all in, but I don't want to like overload it. Let's stop there. Now we got that. Now we're going to throw the shrimp in. Actually, I need this too, since we have some grease in the pan. So space these out all in between. And you can see the blackened spice on there. There we go. Okay, we have that cooking. You can still see it from there. Another thing, sometimes what I'll do is I'll throw the cheese in the egg, but I think I want to put the egg on the actual omelet before I fold it. I prefer it that way. I mean, if I was doing like a, what do you call that thing? Or if it was a scramble, say. Because sometimes I'll use stuff like this for a scramble. I'll just scramble it into eggs. And in that instance, I might put the cheese in the egg before I dump it. Last time I did pulled pork, it was a fail. I learned that when it comes to pork, you can't go by the temperature. When I cook, when I do beef, I always go by internal temperature, which works. But pork is different for some reason. You sort of have to go by time. So I let this go way beyond when it told me the internal temperature was right. Because last time, remember, it was tough. I couldn't pull it. But this came out perfect. And I love my new Traeger. It's Ironwood 885. Man, that makes smoking so much easier. It's so consistent and it just holds the temperature. You don't have to deal with it. No stoking the coals. And man, that Weber, I mean, it works great when it's working, but I'd have the, be watching the app with the thermometer thing, and it would be going good, and all of a sudden I'd just see it like it start slowly coming down, coming down, coming down. Then I'd have to add stuff to it, and just ongoing. And sometimes I couldn't get it to return to temperature, which adds hours to a cook sometimes. Okay, I'm turning the shrimp. It's pre-cooked anyway, it wasn't raw. I'm just sort of getting the, I can show you. The blackened spice, it gets kind of that consistency. Now that that's ready, I think I'm ready to pour the egg on. God, that's a lot of pulled pork in there. Can you see that? That's going to be an overstuffed omelet for sure. It's going to be hard to get it out of the pan. All right, here we go. There's Smokey. Looking for a snack. Spatula. Let it set slightly. I like to keep pushing the edges in. It kind of it gives it a kind of a not so fragile around the edges. That way, when you fold it over, it doesn't all fall apart. But who knows what's going to happen with this? There's so much stuff in here. It might be falling apart. Now, one thing we can do too is cover it. I got this new thing. Check this out. This is for burgers, but it's a little too small for that. So you got this lid. It doesn't fit this pan, but it'll work. Yeah, that burger dome. It's for burgers on the grill. So you can melt the cheese. I'm gonna let this sit here for a second. All right, let me check it. Yeah, there's a little bit of liquid on there, but I think I'm gonna add the cheese now. That's a lot of cheese. I won't need to use all that. I'm gonna do something that I normally don't do. I've got that unsweetened barbecue sauce, has no sugar. I'm gonna put a little bit of that in my omelet. Primal Kitchen. Just to make it interesting. I don't normally do stuff like that. Because you don't really need it, really. Alright, this is just about ready to flip over to the plate. Sometimes I don't think ahead. I'm trying to rotate the omelet in case you're wondering what I'm doing over here. I wasn't thinking ahead about which side of the pan I was going to flip it out of. So it was kind of angled wrong. All right, let's look at this again. Just going to put a little bit of this on there. Just a little. This will be actually probably pretty good. And this doesn't mess with me like some things do. All right. Let me move you back so you can watch me try to get this on the plate. Turn off the burner. See if I can get this on here right. There we go. The back end of it split open. Here, let me show you. Check this out. Back end broke open. Can you see that? The light is so bright. All right, we got that together. And it's a little well done on the outside, but I like it like that. This is what we have. This is a pulled leftovers omelet, but it's pulled pork, blackened shrimp, smokin' goat cheese, and a little bit of the Primal Kitchen unsweetened barbecue sauce. Voila! Okay, let's try this thing. That's a huge omelet, isn't it? You know it's gonna be good. I don't even have to think about it. So you got the pulled pork sticking through the outside. A little bit of the barbecue sauce in there. Man, that's pretty good. I had a home run with that pulled pork this time. Any way that I eat it. I even ate it yesterday. I pulled it out because I was thinking about doing this yesterday, but I just wasn't hungry enough to make a full meal. So I just stood there eating it cold out of that dish, right out of the refrigerator. And it was still good. Same with that leftover tomahawk steak chunk that I posted a picture of, meat cake. That's just a piece of meat. I just trimmed it so it was a wedge. But I stood there and ate that thing cold too. So I didn't really have a meal yesterday, but it was still good. That just shows you how good it was anyway. I mean, you could eat it cold and it was still good. So this tastes great. Really good combination. I didn't eat the shrimp though, huh? There's a shrimp. Tastes like shrimp. Okay. So if you like this video, please hit the thumbs up and the subscribe button down in the corner. And I'll keep cranking them out. I've got a couple backlogged, but I have slowed down a little bit lately, but we'll come up with some stuff. But until then, delicious.